So I guess I'll start by saying that I'm not a fish person, which is probably why Melissa threw me to the end. But I'm also not a fish person. For example, did you know that fish have the potential, or big scary fish, have the potential to cause you to almost drown someone? Even your closest friends. Even one of your closest friends who is sick and vulnerable. Okay, so I'll set the scene here. We're in Cozumel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we're in Cozumel, Mexico in spring 2013. Specifically, spring break 2013. It's our last spring break. There are 6 of us girls. One's Melissa. We're ready to have the time of our lives. So we're on this story takes place on a snorkel expedition. I'm calling it an expedition, okay? I'm not on any helicopters or planes, but it's an expedition, okay? So there are 6 of us, and we're on a motorboat with a small intimate motorboat, with 2 guides, 2 snorkel guides. And we're having the best time. Like, there's some staticky, semi-recognizable music playing from the radio. And we're dancing. Well, we're kind of dancing because it's a small boat. And there's like sliced fruit. So it's a whole day thing, right? So there's like sliced fruit. There are nacho cheese flavored Doritos, which I don't know. They're different than the ones here. I don't know what is in them, but it's a different flavor. It's that they only have in Mexico, or that's what we think. We're pretty sure they only have them here. So those are on the boat. And then there is also the best thing, these drinks that we made, which is a shot of tequila and a beer, which we cutely called tequiers. So we have the fruit, the chips, and the tequiers. We're just having the best time. So Melissa's like obviously in the front of the boat, just being like so excited about all the amazing fish she's about to see. It's like so excited. I'm in the back of the boat working on my suntan. Seriously, like very seriously working on it. 3 of the girls are in the middle of the boat, like, eating the chips, obviously, probably sipping on the tequiers. And then our poor friend Delaney was on the side of Delaney. Okay, so Delaney is now kind of like a media mogul. For some context, she's from Orange County. I don't want to offend anyone here, but she's kind of a diva. All right, so Delaney's on the side of the boat, projectile vomiting, just going crazy because she's seasick. But I think in layman's terms, that means she's hungover. So we're all on the boat, we're like half an hour through. And so on this expedition, there were like 5 designated spots. Like, this is a structured expedition. I'll say it again, not a trip, expedition, structured expedition, 5 stops. Like, this wasn't a free-for-all. So we're like half an hour through, haven't even made the first stop, and one of the guides is like, hey, I saw some sea turtles here last week. We should just stop right here and go in. And like, he definitely had not even finished talking before Melissa's like in the water. Her like fins aren't even on. She's already in there looking for the sea turtles. And I'm like, okay, guess we're making the stop. So I like tie up my bikini straps because tan lines, obviously. Like meticulously put on all of my snorkel equipment. And I'm like, okay, like I'm a little apprehensive of this unchartered stop, but like, whatever, we're doing it. Melissa's in the water, we're going. So we jump in, everyone jumps in, and the sweet snorkel guide gives Delaney, the girl from Orange County who's vomiting off the side of the boat, a flotation device. Because she's still vomiting in the water. So we're all fully submerged and she's still vomiting. Anyway, so we're all out there and I'm like, this is amazing. Like I'm having the most peaceful time. This is finding it all very therapeutic. I'm like looking at the fish. There aren't any sea turtles. Melissa's like, fuck this, I'm going back to the boat. I'm having the best time, swimming. And like 10 minutes later, I like look around to see where everyone else is, and they're like way off in the distance, and they look like they're swimming very, very quickly back to the boat. And so I'm like, oh shit. And so I look over and I'm seeing like snorkel guides, arms flying everywhere, and it looks like danger, danger, danger. There's a shark, is what I'm thinking. There's a shark in the water, snorkel guide saying, go back to the boat. Everyone's like hauling ass back to the boat. And I'm like, okay. So I just take off. I'm like, kicking, spinning. So I get to the boat and it's chaotic. In my mind it's very chaotic. And there are waves everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? I can't see the boat because the waves are, it's like, it's rough. So I'm like waiting there, trying to find the boat. The waves are splashing, and then I feel something brush my leg. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So then honestly, it was kind of like a blackout situation, but I'm like shoving things to the side. I'm like, I gotta get to this boat. And then finally, I reach the ladder. I just pull myself up, get on the boat, sit down, grab myself a handful of the delicious nacho cheese Dorito chips, take a big gulp of my tequila, obviously, and then I look out of the boat to see what the damage is done, what's really happened, and there's just a little rope just kind of swaying there, and I'm like, okay. So then I look up to the rest of the boat, and it's my friends and the snorkel guides looking at me with deep, deep horror in their eyes. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I look over towards the ladder of the boat, and I see Delaney slowly emerge from the ladder, her hair is soaking wet, her mascara just smeared everywhere. And so it turns out that in my effort to make great haste to the boat, I had trampled Delaney, who was peacefully sitting at the ladder's edge, submerged her, held her under a little too close to the rudder of the boat, and just scurried up the ladder and got in, and all my friends had seen it, so, and the snorkel guides, and we hadn't even made our first fucking stop yet, so Delaney's out, and fortunately, Delaney is okay. She didn't hit the rudder. She's okay, and she'd stopped vomiting. But I guess the bad news was that all my friends thought I tried to kill her and drown her in the water. So I guess the moral of this story is I kind of learned what I would do for survival. Thank you.